Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Awesome Wood Things channel here on another Learn Adobe Now session. Give me a big old thumbs up if you can see me and let me know that I am, in fact, streaming live on the interwebs. That would be good. Dashboard says I'm streaming 18 seconds. I think I'm good. Excellent. How's everybody doing? I see Russ from Simply Wooden Creations is out on the chat room. Welcome. How many other peeps we have in here? It's weird. I'm not getting a stream indication. It says I'm live, though. Okay. I'm going to presume it is. Russ, give me a thumbs up if you can see me live on the web. More people are joining. You're live, baby. Dave Gatton's here. Hi, Mr. Gatton. Mr. All Things CNC. Joe Elam is here. Doing good. Excellent. Was that Cecil? Joe Elam? Welcome. I'm glad you're here. This is another Learn Adobe Now session. Chip Builds. Welcome. That's Ashley. Hello, hello. I'm going to draw some very geeky science fiction logos. Who loves science fiction? Come on. Oh, one quick thing off the top of the show. A few weeks ago, I did a line art rendering of the Bumble Abominable Snowman character from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And I have the final piece, the physical object. Look at this. Isn't he cute? This is the Christmas tree ornament of the Bumble. This is glitter, but it's on the inside of the ornament. And then we've got the vinyl stickers on the top with, a little bit of floofy hair, which is feathers and a nice ribbon bow. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I like it. I like it. So that's it. So this was line art in Adobe Illustrator, and you're seeing a physical object made from that line art. Isn't that cute? Yes, Mrs. Awesome Wood Things made this, my wife Tracy, and she used the line art that I made here on Learn Adobe Now. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Well, I want to say a big thank you to my Patreon supporters. We have Osprey Mama, my newest Patreon supporter, over on YouTube, Osprey Mama. Harneal Media, you can find all about that on makersmedianetwork.com. I'm a proud member of Makers Media Network. Javi's Woodshop, also on YouTube under the same name. Jerry Brown, he owns Polly Once a Crafter. And Jim Bashirs from Driveway Workshop with Jim Bashirs. And Mike Laffey, most notable from the Maybe podcast. Thank you to my patrons. Oh, I see some of them coming on the show now. Jim showed up. Hello, welcome. As always, if I do get super chats, we will add your name in the super chat list here and then bump down the Patreon supporters. So as usual, Laffy will be the first one to go if I get a super chat. As I go, ask questions. It helps to highlight my name. So do the @ symbol and type in Awesome Wood Things until it highlights. Choose it. And then I will more easily see that in the chat. And, of course, I'll see the super chats as well if you choose to do that. But that's totally optional. Shenanigans are always welcome in the chat. That's always fun. Just be nice about it. Have fun in the chat room. Okay, let me see. So I will miniaturize myself. There I am, nice and mini. And now we've got the interface here. Okay, you're not really missing anything underneath these this text block, just the layers palette, which ain't no thing. All right, so some of you voted which Sci-Fi logo you like the best. So let me get in my artwork. I will place a raster image or a pixel image Did you see that? If you blinked, you missed it. It was file place. And then this is what I will be rendering today. Let's go ahead and lock that. I'll just object lock selection. Boom. Now, who's familiar with these logos? I think everyone knows what this one on the right is. Yes, that's the Starfleet insignia from Star Trek. But over here on the left might be a little less well-known, House Atreides. This is from the Dune franchise. I think there should be a recount. Well, you know, I do too. The one on the right might be far more popular. But hey, I'm blown away by the Dune franchise and how rich and how real and just how awesome that book was. Oh my God, mind-blowing. A few more people are showing up. Anna's workshop, welcome. I think I said hi to everybody. I'm glad you're here. Remember, ask questions along the way. And Super Chats will push down the Patreon supporters as new Super Chats come up. I'll record you. And you'll be on both shows. You'll be on Learn Adobe Now, and you'll be on the All Things YouTube, which will happen after this. Which one of these two should I draw first? So either write Dune or Star Trek. And let me know. This is a red hawk. And that is the planet. The nickname is Dune. But that's not the planet's real name. Does anyone know what the name of that planet is? I got one Star Trek. All right, we'll do Star Trek. This should be easy. I'll start with Star Trek. So I'll break out my... Oh, now there's a tie. One Dune and one Star Trek. I need a tiebreaker here, folks. Which one should I start with? The planet's name, Arrakis. This is the name of the planet, Arrakis. I got 2 for Dune. All right. Sorry, Russ. You've been outvoted. If this was Florida, we'd do a recount. Oh. Scratch that from the record. No politics. No politics in the Awesome Wood Things channel. What am I doing? What am I doing? Where's Al when you need him? I know. It's his fault. All right. So I'm just using my pen tool. And what I'm rendering are Bezier paths. Bezier is the formal name, although YouTube does call these line segments. Isn't that boring? Boo, line segments. All right, now when I want to start a new direction, if I just pick up here, look, see, it magnetizes itself to the other anchor point. I have to hold the Option key or Alt, Option or Alt on Windows, and then drag up. So you see how now this one is independent of its partner. That's on purpose. And remember, it might not be possible to some shapes you'll never get right the first time. Not because your skills are poor, just because that's the geometry of the tool. You know, it's all math under the hood here. It's X and Y coordinate and a bunch of math going on. And for arcs like this, the general guidance is you want the handles to be about 1/3 the distance on any arc. On any arc that isn't more than 90 degrees. So if it's 90 degrees, handles are about 1/3. Now that's not a hard rule. I mean, there are exceptions, but if you're starting out, that's probably where you want to go. Okay, I got that outline there. Matt is a Dem. Says one wins and does the other anyways. I don't know what you're getting at there, Steve, but I've had my fill of politics. Tell you that much. Now see, this is where I'm going to start what I call cheating, which is actually awesome. So I'm going to drop a guide here, and I touched it to that top anchor point. And now this guy here, I'm going to drag over, and I'm going to wait till it crashes. See how it snaps? It's going to snap to that guide. Now I know that this anchor point and that anchor point are directly on top of each other. All right, now I'm going to rotate. Actually, sorry, reflect. So I have my reflect tool. I'm going to target down where it's going to be the center. And I'm going to pick it up and rotate. Well, it looks like it's rotating. It's actually reflected, but it behaves with rotation properties. Hold the Shift key down, and I'm going to do the Option key or the Alt key to Shift constrains it to the cardinal directions in 45, and then Alt. See the double arrow on my cursor. Boom. Now I got a copy. Now I'll just highlight these two because these are two separate anchor points here. See that? Undo, undo. I'm going to highlight both of them. Now both those anchors are selected, the one on top and the one underneath, and join them. Object, path, join. Or Command J. Command J. Whoops. Fat fingers. What'd I do? Oh, maybe not. Join. Okay. I did a funky key command there. And there we go. This one is done. Let me change the corners here. Notice how this shoots way, way up. That's just the behavior of the line. We go, boop, see that? See how it rounded it off? I like that a lot better. All right. Well, there we go. The Starfleet logo is done. Yay. All right, now I'll tackle the House Atreides. So what this is representing here, and if there's Dune fans on the chat room, you know, feel free to jump in and extend this dialogue. But in the Dune universe, there is a substance that appears on this planet called Arrakis, or Dune for short, called spice, or the spice melange. And it doesn't exist anywhere else. Nowhere else in the known universe. And the book takes place, it's not only is it interstellar, it's intergalactic. That humans are across not only the galaxy, multiple galaxies. And they have used all their technological marvel to reproduce the substance and have failed every time for thousands of years. Only exists on this one planet called Arrakis. And it has health properties. It can extend your life. And if taken in large enough quantities, and you have specialized training, it can give you abilities that no human has naturally, particularly seeing into the future and in the past, and folding space for space travel. This substance called spice is the sole currency of the universe. All commerce and all, you know, it's all around that one substance, spice. Now, this logo is going to be easier than it looks because it's mirrored. So you can see how I'm just going to draw one side of it and then flip it over. So let's do that. I'll start here. Oh no, this is a tough one because this curve actually bends more than 90 degrees. So this particular arch might not be possible to render with 2 anchor points. Now, it just so happens I was able to, but just know if you're ever drawing an arch and the bend is more than 90 degrees, you might, the key word is might, you might need more than 1 anchor. Not that you will, that you might. Just, this is all kind of good to know here. I'm going to take this down a little bit. Now see, this magenta is awful close to that color. I'm going to have to use a different color so I can see it on the red. Yeah, that works better. Let me take it down a little bit. There we go. And again, I'm holding the Option key here, pulling out that handle because it's an opposite direction. See, I don't want these two married together. So the Option key, what I like to call it, cracks it. You took a vote on Dune 1, so you did the Star Trek logo first. Yeah, Star Trek rules. Can't spell it. Yeah, well, it's all good. Things are pretty loose here in the Awesome Wood Things office. All right, so that looks good. Now what I'll do is I'll drop a guide down, pull a guide out from the side. I'm gonna try and center this. Well, just put it there. See if I can flip this over. Have the reflect tool out, target the center point, start rotating it, hold the Option key to copy, hold the Shift key to constrain, boom. Well, not perfect, but we'll see. Oh, I got some news to share with everyone. Yeah, I got some good news. Take a break here for a second. The Awesome Wood Things channel will have been on YouTube for 4 years on Black Friday. 4 years on YouTube, my anniversary. YouTube anniversary, 4 years coming up. Pretty happy with that. I certainly haven't been on YouTube the longest. But gosh, 4 years ago. My first video was a wooden piece of like a wooden holder for an under the kitchen cabinet LED light. But my trick was you could mount it inside of a closet and it would tip it downward, like at an angle. So I cobbled that together in my wood shop, made a video about it, and posted it. And that's what started the Awesome Wood Things channel. Well, actually, what started it was Sterling. He had a palette challenge, and I made a video for that, put it on a different channel. But since I was like, all right, that video wasn't too hard, I made this cool little thing in my shop, and I put it on my. I started a what do you call it? A business account, like a affiliate? No, like what do they call it? Not like a YouTube account that's first name last name, but a brand account. I launched a brand YouTube channel and put that video out there. And wouldn't you know it? That video, my first video, sat there for 3 years until someone commented on it. No one commented on that video for 3 years, and it was Mom from Know What Mom Knows, Shelly Cole. She was surfing my back catalog and said, "Matt, no one commented on your first video." that was essentially her comment. I'm like, yeah, humble beginnings. The man, the myth, the Matt, says Jim Dockrell. Hi, Jim. Welcome. And the rest is history, says Dave Catton. Okay, gotta run. Board meeting tonight. All right. Second some motions, Jim. Well, I know what board meetings are like. I ran the school board here. Well, one of 9 school board members here in my town ran the school district. $37 million budget. Did that for 6 years at a board meeting. Mr. President, I move to approve the budget transfer. Do I have a second? We have a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. The ayes have it. How many times did I do that? 6 years worth. That's how many. What do you think? Let me mirror these over. Phoenix. Good call. It's a red hawk. The noble family Atreides. This is their family crest. And in the book, they are one of, I guess, a dozen or so families that sort of govern all of humanity, really. Well, the emperor has final judgment over all of humanity, but there's these what they call royal houses, and they have a lot of influence over the movement of spice, which is that substance that can only be found on the planet Arrakis, nicknamed Dune. And anyway, I just thought it was totally cool. Very cool logo, in my opinion. So I'm trying to exaggerate these lines here. See how far these out? This is not the 1/3 rule. Partially because it bends more than 90 degrees, and really, I wanted to get that little pinch. This hard turn over here. Atreides. That's Dune, is it not? Yes, it is. Yes, this is the symbol for House Atreides from Dune. In my opinion, one of the most mind-bogglingly awesome sci-fi franchises in any medium. Not the movies. Not a fan of the movies. Not because they're not, well, it's just the book spends so much time and energy on describing the world around you. It's so rich and so plausible, for lack of a better word. And you just can't capture those subtleties in a film. I remember when I saw this movie in the theater, when it came out, the Dune one, and they gave the audience members an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper with all of the terms and definitions on it. So it went, all the royal houses were, what planet they were from, like the Harkonnens were from Gedi Prime, and the planet that the emperor was, and I was like, what? Why? And then, the movie started. It was kind of hard to follow. There's a lot going on. The books were crazy good. Dune is another one of those where the movie did not do the books justice. And I don't think did you hear in 2019, they're in production for a 2019 remake of the movie Dune, and people are skeptical. They're like, kudos to use all of modern technology and techniques, but I don't know. myself and many others are just not convinced that this content can translate into a movie. It's just, I don't know. This is so much. The concept is fantastic. It's that humans have sworn off artificial intelligence because they realized that powerful humans that could control the artificial intelligence were behaving badly, and they were freaking people out and doing bad things. And people got fed up. They were like, we're tired of being enslaved by humans that controlled the robots, essentially, that they're like, forget it. No more robots. And all of humanity has sworn off, for lack of a better word, artificial intelligence. So they still needed to do computational processing. To have a society, you still need computers, and they have technology to some extent, but they realized after hundreds of years of training and figuring this out, humans could be computers. Some humans followed a path of teaching where they could expand the computational attributes of their own mind, and they could do all of the complex calculations that a modern spacefaring society needs just with the mind. And then with the spice, if it's ingested in large quantities along with specialized training, it gives the person over a long time of mutating the person's body into something completely unrecognizable, but you gain these abilities to fold space. And so, in other words, all of society does interstellar space travel through the use of these augmented humans who have ingested large quantities of this spice for years, hundreds of years, because it extends your life. And so humans did all of the calculations as computers did, and humans did all of the space travel. It's just and it all made sense. It's like it all fits together. The whole form of government all made sense. And then they had a special guild, the Spacing Guild, which had the monopoly on this travel, and they kept it a very highly guarded secret. And all commerce, well, all movement in space, at least interstellar, faster than light movement, was governed by this guild, and anyone could use it for good or for ill, for good or for bad. And they hoarded this technology and profited. And anyway, this world of Dune is just big and expansive, and a lot of it was based on Muslim religion. Yeah, it used a lot of Arabic words and things like that. So fiefdom and things like that, and there were many terms from Islam in the series. Yeah, there was. I don't know. I really liked it. So I'm going to do a piece of artwork in the shop, and it's going to be this logo. Look at how that other wing doesn't line up. That's weird. I don't think I'm going to fix it. I think I'm going to keep it the way it is. All right, let me look at this over here where it's not on the background. Well, it still kind of is on the background. What is all this stuff here? All right, let me. Gonna do some. I know I'm underneath that thing. Just one second. Whoops. There we go. Okay, let me just get a good look at this, see if I like it. See any areas that look a little wonky? Get out my eyedropper. Boop. I think that's cool. And I like how it's not like a perfect line here. Like, look at the way it's a little ragged, where it's not like a perfect, almost like the hawk is a bit disheveled and pissed off. Yep, I think I'm digging it. Should my artwork have the words down below? I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna go with the hawk and the planet. The planet Arrakis. Oh, I have some more news too. My notes. So, I originally was going to create a course, an Adobe Illustrator course, a full purchasable premium course. I have decided against that. I am not going to do that as a side business. A lot of reasons for that. There's a lot of competition in the space, and there's a lot of unscrupulous, like, what do you call it? Stealing. People will take your course, put it up on another learning, site, and you'll never know it's there. So, and then it requires a pretty substantial amount of advertising because you've got to pull people into your course. So I think it's best that I not do that. I'll continue with these sessions, and rather than have them be, this are just discrete lessons, they'll be, here's what I'm doing in Illustrator, and I'll show you along the way what I'm doing, and kind of have it be that and like a more of a design type thing. So that's, I think, the future of my Learn Adobe Now concept. I'm just going to keep it live streams. Watch me do awesome things in Illustrator. I'll teach you the techniques I'm using on any given thing, and that's going to be what it is. I think that's going to be fun. I'll give everyone a reminder, Makers Rock is up and running. We are taking participants. We are signups. Signups are open for Makers Rock. You create a 12 by 12 piece of art that mimics a vinyl album of a rock and roll album. Any genre, any decade, completely open. And once you make it, we all publish it on the same day. You promote other makers that are in the Makers Rock along with you, and we all publish on the same day. And then you run a contest, and then you give away what you made. It's a lot of fun. This is year number 4 we're doing it. Really looking forward to that. Makersrock.com is where you go to sign up. You can see a Google spreadsheet of everyone who's signed up and what they've chosen to make, so you can not pick a duplicate. And then you're invited to a secret, super private Facebook group, only Makers Rock participants. And then, although what you make is kept secret until publish day, in the Facebook group, you can share your build along the way. And some people get together and they'll do separate promotions. You can do other promotions too. It's a lot of fun. Makersrock.com. Oh, I'm going to publish a new build video on Awesome with Things. That's right. Yes, a build. Yeah, I do make build videos. I've been doing a lot of live streams lately. This is the 43rd Learn Adobe Now live session I've done. I just thought that was fun. last week was 42, the answer to life, the universe, and everything. So I've been doing the Almost Impossible Challenge that's hosted by Javier Unzuela. He's here on the Patreon right there. Gosh, this is hard. Holy cow, right? Javi. That's where you're supposed to be in your shop once a day for 30 days. I'm a little behind, so I don't. That's why it's almost impossible, because it's impossible, but almost impossible. So it's tough. So that video of the Frosty the Snowman I built out of pallet wood and a scroll saw, it's going to be a full featured video with an Instructable too. And I need your opinion on this. Okay, let me know what you think about this. I might, this week, at random times, I don't know when, open up a live stream, which will again be unlisted, after the live stream's over. But I'm going to tear apart my new to me, it's a used tool, my DeWalt scroll saw. I'm going to tear it apart, and I'm going to inspect it and service it. All of the bearings will get lubricated and put back together. Make sure everything's nice and tight. Make sure there's no slop. There's a technique you can do on the top of the scroll saw. There's a piece where you can grind away a little bit of metal, and that gives the mechanism a little more clearance, because when it bangs, it can bang, 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 bang on the top if it's going really haywire. And this technique of grinding away a unnecessary piece of metal inside the scroll saw around the case will help reduce some of the noise. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to paint the yellow exterior of the DeWalt scroll saw a color that's not yellow. Yep. Oh, and look what else I got. This came in the mail today. The light kit for the DeWalt. Jim Dockrell says, perusing the internet, Frank Herbert's son co-wrote about a dozen Dune books. Yeah. Some people say only the first book was the masterpiece. Some people love them all. That's sort of... Should I do an unboxing? I think maybe I shall. Can't really see. That sucks. La da dee. Giving me problems. In Lost in Space, macabre aliens try to turn Will Robinson's brain into a computer. Just saying. Oh, yeah? Well, you want to talk about science fiction authors stealing from each other. Look at the differences, or look at the similarities between Dune and Star Wars. Dare I say it? As a matter of fact, early drafts of Star Wars were revised, and they had even more references to Dune. And people have straight up asked, they're like, did you steal from Dune? He's like, pretty much said yes. There's my light. Yeah, so... some similarities are questionable. Like, in Star Wars, it's Luke. And in Dune, it's Paul. Both are apostles from in the Catholic faith, and the main character's grandfather is the enemy in Dune, and in Star Wars, the father, Darth Vader, is sort of the enemy. Um, oh, guess I need to put a light bulb in. No light bulb. You hear that? That doesn't look good. I think my bulb's busted. Yeah. God damn it. Bulb is broken. I can hear pieces inside jiggling around. Damn. Oh, it still works. Wow. Muad'Dib, yeah. Well, that's cool. You hear that? There is loose material in that bulb. I'm skeptical. So that's the light I'll bolt onto my scroll saw, which I love, by the way. I love it. Such a step up. Such a step up. I had a rigid. I still have a rigid scroll saw, and it's nice, but man, it is nowhere near as nice as the DeWalt. And I hear people say all the time, and I hear Russ say, oh, if you're doing this type of thing, like the whirligig, a scroll saw is like the perfect tool to use. And when I owned the rigid, I'm like, yeah, but I could use the bandsaw for something. Now that I have a good scroll saw, I'm like, now I understand. Don't shake your head. You might hear something rattle in there too. Yeah, believe me. Believe me, I might. Now, I know, like, some people say the bulb burns out all the time. Does anyone own the light on the DeWalt scroll saw? And do you have light bulb issues? A few screws. I mean, there's something on the inside that it's almost like little pieces of glass were floating around in there. Does everyone have good Thanksgiving plans? It's right around the corner. Can't believe it. Thanksgiving already. My son works for Best Buy. And so he's coming home from college. And then he's going to work Black Friday. Oh, I don't envy that boy. Oh, here, I can do this technique. Let's make a compound path. In other words, a hole in this. So let's color this. Okay, so now I have this color. But see how this is just a shape on top of the color? What you can do is you can highlight both of these objects. And as long as they're not grouped in separate groups, you can go Object, Compound Path, Make. Now, if this works, it should punch a hole in the object, like a donut. Yep, and it did. Now watch. See that? It's actually a hole. That's called a compound path. And that's how that works. Thanksgiving has come and gone in Canada. Okay. I like that color. Now, does anyone want to know what project I'm going to make with these logos? Let me explain it to you. I think it's a good idea, but it might not be a good idea. If it is a good idea, you let me know. So, this room is very echoey. All right, it's all There's no fabric in this room. So I'm going to make a sound insulation panel. You see those panels everywhere, but I'm going to make it myself. There was a video about someone taking the high-end foams and testing it. So we had a microphone, the material, and then a speaker. And, McCain Woodcrafts is here. Hi, welcome. I just drew these two logos in Adobe Illustrator, House Atreides and the Star Trek Starfleet insignia. October 8th is Canadian Thanksgiving. So I'm going to make my own sound panels, but there was a guy that did all this testing, and he figured out if you take 6 bath towels, sandwich them together, it is 3 to 6 times more sound absorbing than even the highest end sound foam that you can buy. 3 to 6 times more sound absorption. So I'm going to take these logos that I made, well, one of them, and I'm going to do that. So I'm going to build a wood frame, and I'm going to put 6 pieces of bath towel in there, and the top bath towel is going to be the same color as my wall, which is, it looks white, but it's actually very light blue. And then these objects here are going to be protruding out. So like I'm going to have another piece of bath towel like material. It's going to be like 3D. So when you look at it, it's going to have a background, and then on top of it, it's going to have an object that's also bath towel, but it's going to be in those shapes. So I think I bought like a thicker fabric, and I'm going to cut the thicker fabric. Not fabric. It's like you know what? It's one of those. So like you're moving your house, and you have the blankets, like those cheap blankets for furniture moving. So they're kind of thicker blanket. It's not just like, like this shirt here. It's kind of thicker. So I'm going to cut those out in these shapes, and I'm going to wrap more bath towel around it, and then put that 3D object made out of bath towel on top of the bath towel, and then frame it up in a nice thing and stick it on the wall. So it's going to be, you can see these shapes in there. I think it's going to be cool. I mean, why just have a plain blank towel to look at? You got to sci-fi it up a little bit. I mean, that's what I do in my shop is, if I have a normal object, I make the normal object and I put something awesome all over it or something like that. That's what I'm going to try and do. Owens Corning 700 sheets rigid insulation is commonly used to make sound absorbing clouds in studios, says Jim Dockrell. Okay. I'll look into that. Owens Corning 700 series rigid insulation. Let's take a look. Simple frame, cover with sound transparent material. Oh, I see. Is it like this stuff? Well, this is 703. That might be what you're talking about. Does that look like what you're talking about, Jim? Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. I got to cut down on the echo. Although this microphone kills all echo. So as long as I'm on this microphone, it's not a problem. But if I'm on voice chat with the computer mics, for my day job, it's kind of echoey. Burlap is common, can be dyed, painted as you like. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean that's my plan, is to make a cool piece of artwork that's also sound absorption, and maybe kill a little bit of the echo in here. Not a lot, but Maybe I'll do 2 of them. Put one here and put one over there. I really need to put it back there so when stuff bounces, it won't come back at me. But I want to keep the background nice. All right, I've got a cool all things YouTube right around the corner here in 10 minutes. I'll be kicking that off. I've got a lot of news to share. I'm going to be going over some account things you can do to make sure others can take over your account if you're not able to, if it goes dormant, like if you kick the bucket, if you know what I mean. This is important. Hey, your YouTube channel could be earning buku bucks. Why have that stop? Have that go to loved ones as you move on to the next chapter. I was going to tear apart the cloud thing. I really haven't been able to figure that out too much, but I am going to talk about Article 13. Ooh, have you heard about that? Yeah. The European Union is going to put something into effect that's going to essentially be very, very bad for content creators and viewers in any European Union country. So all of Europe. Not good. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit too. And remember, when this Learn Adobe Now goes off the air, it will be unlisted on the Awesome with Things channel. So if you just navigate to the channel, you won't be able to find it. You can go to patreon.com/awesomewiththings if you're $1 or more patron, like all of these guys are. There. If you're $1 or more patron, you'll have access to all of the show links there because they're still unlisted. They're still playable on the internet. You just can't find them by searching for them or going to my channel. But there's a free way too. Always offer free ways is what I try and do. And you can go to Awesome with Things on Facebook. So facebook.com/awesomewiththings. Scroll down the wall of all my posts, and then you will see posts to all of these old shows. And you can just follow those links. If you want to watch reruns for free, you can do that too. All right. I think we'll end it here. The link to the next show is in the description of this video. And I will, so you can go, I'll put it in the chat too. Give me 1 second. So here's all things YouTube. If anyone wants, see how I do this? I make Facebook events and I invite people that show up into the chat room if they're connected with me on Facebook, facebook.com/Matt Haas. And then you get a little reminder. I think that's nice. If you want added to these weekly, things, let me know on Facebook. MATTHAAS. Okay, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, here's the link. Copy link address. Oh, Jim has. Oh, that's not good. Hold on a second. Select all. Give me 1 second here. So let me just copy that. If I can't watch your shows, I watch for just a minute, so it will be in my history. Oh, that's a good idea. Dave Gatton says he just jumps on for a minute, and then he can go back on history. There you go. The link I just put in chat, once this stops buffering, or whatever, that's the Learn Adobe Now session. So I will end this stream and then fire the new stream back up under that new URL. Dave the Wood Barber's here. Hi, Dave. We're just wrapping up. Stay on the Awesome Wood Things channel. In 6 minutes, I will fire up the All Things YouTube show, and that's at the URL. That's just put. Oh, Dave might not be able to see that because he just joined. Let me put another one in there. There you go, Dave. That's the next show. Okay, we'll leave it here. Thank you, line art people. I will see you on All Things YouTube in 5 minutes, right here on Awesome with Things. Thanks again.